Hey YouTube, it's TechSavvy Solution here, and I'm here with a video walkthrough slash review slash in-depth look at Jelly Bean, which is Android's latest software update, firmware update for its Android phones. It's Android 4.1. So let me just show you that I'm on that, and I'll go ahead and show you what Jelly Bean is all about in just a moment. So, Android 4.1. So this update isn't supposed to roll out until July, but I was able to head over to xdadevelopers.com and flash the leaked Jelly Bean ROM, and you can do that too. If you want to know how, if you want to learn how to get Jelly Bean on your Galaxy Nexus, or if you just want to know how to flash ROMs and customize your phone in general, head over to my video tutorial on how to do just that. It is the Galaxy Nexus full customization tutorial. That is a video for you. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look at Jelly Bean. So the first thing I want to show you is the new lock screen. A lot of what Jelly Bean has are minor UI improvements slash changes, but also a lot of speed improvements as well. But as for UI improvements, you can see that we have not just the option to unlock or head over to the camera, but we have the option to select Google Now. But what I'm going to do is unlock it and show you that, hey, this search bar is different in that it looks different, but if we click on that, or tap on that, then we're headed over to Google Now, which is what I had mentioned earlier when we were looking at the lock screen. So what you have here in Google Now is kind of like a home screen that Google came up with instead of that awkward search bar that always sat on the top of your screen in Ice Cream Sandwich, but it's more integrated, as I'll show you in a minute, and a lot more, I think, substantial than the regular search. So if you read this, cards show up here when you need them. So what cards are Google's way of giving you information on the screen. So for example, we have sample cards. It's going to show up in just a bit. For example, we have a traffic card, and it looks like this. And what it'll do is show up on your Google Now home screen. And let's say you're traveling home from work. It'll show you the estimated amount of time it'll take for you to get home. It'll show you a map. And you can hit navigate if you ever get lost for some reason. Of course, I can't interact with this because it's a sample card, but when it shows up, then you could do just that. We also have a card for public transportation. That'll give us times for all the buses. And then you can have... Oops, I don't know why my camera is focusing weirdly. But we can have all scheduled departures, so on and so forth. And then flights. Sports. And then your calendar appointments. And translation, when you're traveling to a different country or if you ever need that. And then currency, especially when you're traveling overseas and you want to convert currency. Travel again. And then places. You also have corresponding settings to each of the different cards. So, speaking of settings, I'm going to go over to the settings right here. And you have settings for not only Google Voice or Google Now, but also for voice. But as for the settings for Google Now, I'm going to just briefly go over them. One thing to note is that you also have notification settings. And this is a better example if we go to traffic. If you're driving from work and you're in unusually heavy traffic, as you see here, you can have notifications for that, and you have different levels of such notifications. And Google organizes it by priority level. Next appointments. So Google is trying to be really smart in predicting your life. And I mean, not in a creepy way, but just like trying to predict how you use the phone so it can best to serve you. So I think that's pretty cool. And then you also have ringtones for your notifications. I believe these would be the same ones that come in Ice Cream Sandwich and for the Galaxy Nexus. So yep, those are your options. And then here are your settings for voice. and you have this new block offensive words, hot word detection. Kind of funny. And we have Google account dashboard, and I'm not going to go ahead and do that, but that's just a brief look at that. And then phone search. You can choose the applications that you want to search through. And you even have a setting for settings, which is just another alternate menu. So what I had searched before was, where is Willis Tower? And I'm going to demo that again instead of just showing you the result. So, okay. Up top we have the history of our searches. And what I'm going to do, say, click this. Where is the Grand Canyon? And as you can see, when I said where, Google noted that it was like, give me a location, or tell me where it is, Google. And based on that keyword, it gave a map, or gave an application card for maps. So it's not just Google search results, which we have on the bottom, web results, but Google is also smart enough to do like an application card. So you can open maps and see where the Grand Canyon is. So that's pretty spiffy. And of course this is the maps application. So you have all the benefits of the 3D effects when you're in urban areas and all of that goodness. So if we head back to the search application, I'm going to search again. How many dollars does it take to make a euro? Oops, not a hero. Actually, it should be how many euros does it take to make a dollar? How many euros make a dollar? And you have a conversion over there. And one last one. Just click on that. What's the weather like in Phoenix?
It's 105 degrees and cloudy in Phoenix. Here's the forecast for the next few days.
Dang. Whoa, it's hot. But they even have voice web results. Or not voice web. That doesn't make sense. But voice results for you when you speak to it. That's pretty cool. Kind of like Siri. I can see hot competition between the two. But that is a look at Google Now and the new and improved voice search. You can also filter your search results by images, also by places, and more. And news and shopping and all the Google stuff. What a monopoly. And you also have settings again for that, but we visited that. So, moving on. I'm going to go ahead and show you the camera. Okay, so with the camera, there's not too much new about it. This is a pack of gum. But what I want to note, again, a minor UI difference, is that little focus box. So if I tap to it, it'll like expand and contract and focus. I thought that was kind of nifty, I guess. And then if you go to settings, we can just scroll like that through the settings. Forgot if that was an ice cream sandwich or not, but it is in here, and I think that's pretty nice. But yeah, that's just a look at the camera. There's not too much new on that. So if I click on the image, we have that, and we have that little animation view. Take an image, then I'll just slide. So if I go to the gallery, I took some sample shots with my laptop as well. So I'll go like this, scroll through my images, and then... What? We're at the camera already? So I'd mentioned when I was reviewing the Galaxy Nexus that Ice Cream Sandwich had this theme of just like sliding panes back and forth. So they took it one step further with Jelly Bean, by sliding to get the camera and sliding to get the gallery. So it's kind of integrated like that, and something subtle that only us geeks will notice. So I'm gonna go back home. And speaking of gallery, let's go ahead and take a look at the new Jelly Bean gallery, which is not in this folder. So, application drawer. And while I'm in the application drawer, just want to show you how quick the response is. There's no lag. I mean, I have a lot of applications open, so you can see tons. So it should be laggy, but no, it's, wow, I'm so surprised. But let's look at the gallery. So here's our camera, like our camera pictures. And then gone is that little, we had a preview of each of the images on the bottom where we can just scroll through it quickly. I don't know why they decided to get rid of that. Here's it in landscape mode. Then pinch to zoom works pretty quickly as well. And if you zoom out, it's like you can see, here it is. So they did away with that preview of images that they used to have in Ice Cream Sandwich, but they replaced it with something a little more intuitive, zooming out to see the entire pane of images. I mean, I personally favor the Ice Cream Sandwich preview of images better, but I mean, Jelly Bean Sandwich makes quite a bit of changes in the UI like that. Anyways, that's a look at the gallery. And then I believe you still have the same options. And you can make photos available offline as well. In terms of like Picasa photos and such. Anyways, let's go ahead and go back home. And then the other thing that I want to show you is the web browser. So no, not Picasa. Okay, it took me to Picasa anyways. But let's take a look at Engadget. So with Engadget, what I'm gonna do is reload this page. Stop, and then let's refresh. So as the page is loading, I'm gonna be scrolling back and forth and being a jerk with the phone. Normally, you wouldn't do that because if it's loading, you should wait until it finishes loading and then start scrolling. Otherwise, you're gonna get a ton of lag. But if you notice in Jelly Bean and on this Galaxy Nexus, wow, it's like still so smooth and responsive. And here's pinch to zoom. And any lag that you see is probably my camera lagging more than the phone lagging, because I'm looking at this right now and it's so responsive. I mean, it's comparable definitely to the iPhone 4S. And see, now it's done loading, and the quality of just going back and forth is still the same. And I'm really impressed with that. I mean, very, very seldom do you see this, like, skip a frame, or not frame, but, like, you get that checkerboard, or that blank white space before it loads, but that's very seldom do I see that. So yeah, enough of my chaos. You're probably like, stop it. But that's just a brief look at how the web browser is able to render things very quickly, and one of the options, or updates in Jelly Bean. So I'm going to go ahead and show you another web page just to prove it. Let's go to New York Times. Wonder if I can just voice search that. New York Times. New York Times. Okay. What? Let's try that again. New York Times. Perhaps I need to iron out some bugs. Because, although this is Jelly Bean, it's like a pre-build of it. It's not the official one that's supposed to be rolling out, so they might still need to do things. But yeah, there it is. New York Times. It did take a little while, though. But it's okay, we're gonna go ahead and search that. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to the full site. And I'm connected to Wi-Fi right now. Or maybe I'm not. Oh, dang, I'm using my data. Oh well, it's like the end of the month, so. Can you believe I'm on a 300 megabyte data plan? This is like, it's ridiculous. I get by with it, but I'm actually quite lucky to have a data plan to begin with. But, yeah, so as you can see, this is on, not on Wi-Fi, and it's still that smooth, still that fast. Wi-Fi or no Wi-Fi, there it is. Quite fast. Also, I wanted to note about voice search is that you no longer need a data connection in order to do it. So that's quite nice. Hey, Flash is even playing. If you heard that for a minute. So you can do voice search online or offline, doesn't matter.
What can you touch and not touch? People.
Yeah. So, that is the web browser. Oops. Alright, and now I'm going to show you some new apps that came with Jelly Bean. So, for example, we have the Google Plus Messenger, which was maybe in the Play Store, but didn't come standard until now. So, we have a messenger where we have Google Plus and all your contacts. It's basically a Google Plus app, but it's a shortcut directly to the Google Plus Messenger portion of it, or Google Talk, whatever you want to call it. So Messenger, Hangouts, but this app just gives you a shortcut to Messenger. And then here we have Google Plus, which we saw before. And if you want to go ahead and follow me, Tech Savvy Solution, or Tech Savvy, TEKSAVI, on Google Plus, go ahead and do that. I'm always making new videos and such. So here's my profile. Ooh. But yeah, that is a look at the new Messenger app. And then what we have here is Currents. And what Currents is kind of like another news application for your phone. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and log onto Wi-Fi so I don't totally oust my data plan. But while I do that, I can take you through a brief look at settings right now. And we have pretty much the same type of settings that we found on Ice Cream Sandwich. Then you have accounts, like Google accounts, and then that, I think it's a new addition that we have, add account, that wasn't there before. Of course, these options that you've seen before. And then, yes, I want my Wi-Fi on, thank you. So, we have Wi-Fi, and I'm going to go ahead and check to see if I'm logged in with my network. Nope, so I'm going to go ahead and type that in briefly. Just give me a moment. My password's kind of long. Okay, so that's connected. Now I'm going to show you Currents, because that relies on a data connection. And let me get my camera to focus in on this. So, as you can see, we have a list of magazines for us to read. If we just click on that, it'll fetch us the latest articles for that. And again, it goes through this, the swiping, I mean, like, swiping of panes. It's just like how Ice Cream Sandwich had it, and Jelly Bean is building on that UI theme. So we click on that. No thanks. And if you want to see the article, you just click on it and it'll open it up. complete with images. I mean, it's kind of like a, yeah, it's an integrated web browser. I think they could have done a better job with just making it all within the app. But, I mean, at least it's here. But it's just like, why would you put a web browser, or why would you put the web page in the app? Why can't you just give us the article? But anyways, it's a good start, and I like the idea of having these news articles and magazines all in one place. So yeah, that's a look at currents. You can even have shortcuts to each of the categories of apps. That's pretty cool. I like the icon as well. And then what if we want to go ahead and add magazines? You have tons that you can add. So we have CNET, Android Central. I think these are basically just news articles, but they have it again with the whole theme of swiping back and forth. It's like you're reading a magazine. So that's nice. And then with the other new app, oops, this is when I rooted the phone. But in addition to currents, we also have shortcuts for Play magazines. So from Google Play. And then, of course, if you don't have any, you can download them from the Play Store. Try a new magazine risk-free. I'm not going to buy any, but that's, I think, pretty useful as well. So if you don't like currents, you can actually get, legit magazines from the Play Store. And did you just see that UI? Like, when you go into a new window, it goes like this way, and then when it goes back, it pops in this way. Found that to be pretty nice. And I'm wondering why my camera is acting up. This resolution or this color contrast is not correct. I mean, it shows up blue, like dark blue in the text here, but it's actually a light sort of purple. But yeah, I don't know what's up with my camera right now. But there we go. This is what it looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit out of that. So these minor UI changes are what Jelly Bean is all about. But there are also speed improvements, as you saw before, and I think that is pretty cool. So I'm gonna take a look at the new widgets. This is our new Google Play music widget. Then we have the Google Store, or Google Play like application preview, whatever you want to call it. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the widgets here. I don't think many of them are completely new, but the new thing about them is that if you try and put a widget that won't fit, for example, evenly on the screen, let's go here. Oops. Here, let's do this. So I'm gonna put this on here. Go to my Gmail, and I'll show you that in a minute. Then, if I want to move around an icon, then I'll be like, hey, I want to go here, and then the widget won't be like, no, I'm not moving. It's gonna move out of the way too. Go like that. If you want to add a new widget, nope, can't. That one won't fit. Then I'll go ahead and move out of the way. So that's pretty cool. It's similar to how iOS does with the apps. The icons will move out of the way if you want to place them there. Whereas on previous versions of Android, it'd just be like, no, this widget won't fit. Move the other ones first. But Google was a little nicer with us this time. And of course, if you still want to make folders, you just drag one application on top of the other. You get that. So, while we're on Gmail, I'm going to go ahead and show you this. It's pretty much the same application, but it's just, I'm a really big fan of this assistant's ice cream sandwich. So I'm gonna click on one of these. So hey, the gamer, you subscribed to me, thanks. So it's pretty much the same stuff that you had before. But while I'm here, I'm going to type myself an email and show you the status bar and how it is different from ice cream sandwich. So, I searched for mail, no. Let's compose mail, and I'm going to send one to myself so I can get a notification. So, test. And while I'm composing an email, I'm going to try voice search again. Not voice search, but voice to speech to text. So I'm going to click on this icon. Hi, this is a test email. Not too bad. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So I am testing the Galaxy Nexus. The voice to text function is doing quite well. YouTube is super cool. Okay, one last sentence. Google, are you better than Apple? And then you also have the option to jump to your keyboard to add a question mark. So, I'm going to go ahead and send that. And I should be getting a notification soon on my status bar. Keyword, should. Alright, let me just make sure that my notifications are on. If not, I'll send another one. So, settings, general settings. Nope. Oh, wait a minute. So, we do have notifications, but they don't update all the time. So, I'm going to refresh this and maybe it'll update. No, it won't. Anyways, what will happen is you'll get a notification on your status bar, obviously, but the status bar looks quite different from the other one that we had. So, we have this blue bar on the bottom. Oops. It's definitely more simple, I think. And then you have a minimalistic display of the date and the time on the top. Of course, we always have that shortcut to the settings. And I really want to show you what an email notification looks like. So I'm going to go to accounts. And maybe I can synchronize that right now. So if you can see everything that Google has over you in terms of functionality and the applications that are by Google, it's a lot. We have Google Play, we have the Google Plus, we have music, and then photos, Gmail, currents, contacts, browser. Everything is Google, Google, Google. And in a way it's good, but to like focus everything in one source. But in a way, it's kind of scary. Google has a lot of control over your personal information, so be careful with what you do, I guess. But oh well, we're not going to get that email notification, but here's the email. And you saw the voice to text functionality, and that was pretty cool. So yeah. Wait a minute. I just went forward in time. Alright, so I got you guys the status bar and the updates that came with it. Because I really want you to see the new layout of it. So here are my messages. You can see I have 22 new messages from my YouTube or my Gmail account, and it's like really minimalistic and really nice and plain and simple, which I like. And we also have notifications for updates over here. And then if you don't want to see all of this, you can go ahead and slide it out of the way. It even shows a little icon at which the application came from, or the notification came from, so it came from the Gmail application. And then we also, again, have shortcuts for settings, and then the shortcut icon to clear it all out. So we have that. I'm really happy that I got to show you that. Okay, but a couple of other things that I want to show you before I conclude this review is if we go to settings, then we can scroll all the way down to developer options, and I'd forgotten to mention how much more developer options that we have in Jelly Bean versus Ice Cream Sandwich. So we have some stuff that we had before, like show touches, like I have here enabled, and then we also have new things like the scale for animations, transitions, and windows. So a lot of these new things that you want to go ahead and check out if you have this phone. So yeah, that's about it for settings. And then one other thing is if you hold the home button at any application that you're in, then you have direct access to Google Now. And so notice that with Google Now, because it's midnight or past midnight, they have changed the wallpaper to reflect that it's nighttime outside. So that's pretty cute. So we have that with Jelly Bean, and I think I'm going to end this review now. It's getting quite late and lengthy, but I hope I covered just about everything. If I missed anything, feel free to comment in the comment section below. And I still appreciate your feedback with that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review, and I hope you got a good look at Jelly Bean. If you like what you see, please rate, comment, and subscribe. I enjoy your feedback, and I'll see you guys next time on the next video review or tutorial or news announcement. Thanks, guys.